Hey everybody, it's Trash Boat.
Stop talking!
Trash Boat.
I change it back!
I just love Trash Boat. It's way better than Stupid Rigby.
It's way better than One Cheek Wonder.
Don't talk about it, One Cheek
How you doing, Sam?
I'm good.
How'd this go?
Very nice.
They're not unruly or anything?
No, no.
Okay, good.
Pleasant conversation.
Tell us where his glasses came from, which would be interesting.
Where did your glasses come from?
Came from Costco.
Nice.
Good
Nice.
place to buy glasses.
Word to the wise.
Hey, it was really nice meeting you. It was really nice meeting you. It was a photo with me. It's okay, we can get a photo. It's okay. I'm just saying, really cool.
I'm not gonna bother. I got a ton of photos with that guy.
We can find it on the internet.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, there's all kinds of photos of me that you can find on the internet. There was so like you know, you go to the Conflict San Diego, and they have what's called a press hour, and they bring us in as a cast, and they'll bring in like Adventure Time and all that kind of stuff. And there's just a bunch of tables with reporters sitting at them. And you move the cast from table to table. That's how they get everybody to talk to, you know. And so last year in San Diego, I was just waiting for my turn to talk. It was like I wasn't in a really bad mood or anything. I was just sitting there like this, you know. And I didn't even know anybody took my picture, and then this meme popped up on Twitter. It was me going like this, and somebody had written, "Always respect Bill Salyers, you shit."
What was this about?
It was just a target of opportunity. Somebody just took my picture while I was going like this, and you know, I didn't look particularly angry or anything, but I guess they thought that was funny. And yeah. Yuri Lowenthal, who's a buddy of mine, posted it. He saw that picture because I put it up on Facebook, and he goes, "Never not be smiling." And he's right.
Just want to see if you wanted microphones or anything else today.
No, I think, you know, if I can't reach the back of this room, then I should be fired.
Well, that's fine. Just thought I'd check it before you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, that's me. I'm Rigbone. You guys all watch the show? Ah, nice. I like it.
Wait, what show?
Adventure Time.
I thought this was for that one iCarly episode you were in.
Oh, nice.
Courtney told us about that.
Oh, did she tell you guys about that?
I think she said you ate one of the spaghettis or something.
God, that stuff was horrible. And so you know, they'd shoot, and we'd be all like, really good. And then at one point, you know, they'd cut, and the art director would walk over and be like, "Guys, I'm sorry, you really have to eat those things." But just imagine like cold taco shell, cold spaghetti, and then they just like put like, you know, some like unheated ragu or something over it.
I think she said that it was like old, and they put like spray on it.
Like a spray on it.
It sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you had to like eat it and pretend to like it. That was some of the finest acting I've ever done. You guys have any questions or anything you want to know, or? Yeah, back here.
Is there a show you really want regular shows or not?
Oh, that's a good question. People keep asking about an Adventure Time crossover, but both the creators, both JG and Penn, have said that the universes just don't work together. They just wouldn't. And a lot of the shows on.
You need Rick and Morty though.
Shoot, dude, I would die for that. I would. That's the answer. I would love a Rick and Morty crossover.
Either a costume or like the intro, like you would see when they come to the site. It's like, oh, what kind of intro is this? Then you just like leave the exit.
That would be awesome. I love that show, man. I would kill somebody to be on that cartoon. That's a great thing. I read for it, and then some dude named Justin Roiland ended up playing the part. So, whatever, whoever he is.
He does Rick or?
Both. He does both.
Can you give your impersonation of Rick?
You know, I don't work that way. I'm not an impersonator, so I don't remember what I did, but it would have been my own version of.
Who did you read for?
Both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, both. Yeah. I thought, well, heck, I've got a shot at one of them, right? No, same actor got both of them. So. Yeah, so if you want a lifetime of heartbreak, this is the business. Actually, no, it's great. I love my job.
You should have what's it called? Audition for Mr. Poopy Butthole.
For what?
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, they send me all kinds of copy. Like I get anywhere between, I'd say 3 to 10 auditions a day. I get them kind of late in the day, and so I'll go out to my studio and record for 2 or 3 hours and email all those in. And it's just like fishing, man. You know, you put a lot of lines out, and once in a while you get a bite. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy it. It's good to know something about technology so you can make yourself sound good. How's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm your photographer.
Oh, okay, great. Yes?
Could you do a promo for me and my friend's channel, Just Guys Playing Games?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. You want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Cool. Excuse me, folks.
With or without the hat?
Oh, I do want the hat.
Let me know when you can do it.
Just Guys Playing Games. Okay. Hi, I'm William.
Wait, whoa.
What? Hey, whoa! Slow your roll!
Okay, I'm recording now.
Hi, I'm William Salyers, Rigby from Regular Show, and you're watching Just Guys Playing Games. Yes, you are. Now give me the controller, I want to play!
You're welcome, anytime.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. And thanks for doing that.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
Last year I met, Billy West. If you ever
Oh,
seen
yeah.
him. And like you both seem to have like the same voice, kind of like not voice, but when you do your characters, like,
Yeah.
you have to like reach like the whininess of the voice of the character.
Yeah, I will take that compliment because Billy West is awesome. Oh my God, what? I told you never to text me here. Billy West is amazing. He does a gazillion voices, and I can't wait for him to retire. You know who else I get? Who I read against a lot is Tom Kenny, because we also have kind of similar voice qualities. But I keep thinking one of these days he's going to reach the maximum number of jobs he can do in one day, and then they'll have to use me. So I'm looking forward to it.
Good plans.
Yeah. Yes.
Would you say that Regular Show is borderline Adult Swim?
Yeah.
Have you seen like the earlier episodes? There's a lot of jokes in it.
Well, you know what's funny? What's funny about that? That's a good thing you brought up. We used to be more raw in the early days. You know, where we had lines like, "How in the H are we gonna fix this S?" You know, stuff like that. It's like,
Don't look at our crotches or your secret.
yeah, right. And now, and the funny thing was and I asked JG a few years ago. I was like, so how come it feels like we're a little safer than we used to be? And he was like, yeah, well, more people are watching. So back when you first start the show and you've just got a handful of folks following you, you can take more chances. But then when all the parents start writing in, you gotta kind of pare it back a little bit. But what always amazes me is we'll have a line that in an episode that we know is probably gonna get, you know, cut by standards and practices, and somehow or other the stuff that they come up with, the like okay stuff, always sounds nastier than the original line. because it goes someplace weirder, you know.
Do you have an example?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I don't really have one off the top of my head, but I'll make one up. Like, you know, well, we watched the episode of Death Punchies yesterday, and I did. Were you there for that? Well, so like,
Me too.
I'm reasonably sure. As I recall, the original line was not "my pepperonis are roasting."
Yeah.
It was something else. I don't know. I don't think it was balls, but it was something like that. And so they changed it to pepperonis, which sounds ever so much worse to me. Yeah.
Regarding that censorship issue, have they tried putting in? They know the bad line they want to use.
Yes.
So instead, they put in the worst line, and then the censors.
Yep. That's a time-honored practice. What's your name?
Derek.
Derek, that's a good call, Derek. It's absolutely right. You know, it's like you know, they've got the line about pepperonis or whatever that they want to get in there, so they write in a line that's like, "I am going to, you know, face screw you to death," or something like that. And they're like, "Hey, you can't have that," and you know, they're like, "Okay, we'll take it out," and so the other thing gets through. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you do that line from Pepperoni's? Can you remember it? It's my favorite line from almost all the regular shows.
Dude, come on, my pepperonis are roasting here. I love that episode. I'd forgotten about. It's interesting to see like the really old stuff. Really old. We've only been on since 2010, but it's interesting to see like the really old stuff because I see how the show has evolved, and like the idea of. I don't even know if that would. I don't know if that pitch would work now for JG if somebody said it's really just about Rigby trying to learn a karate move so he can beat up Mordecai. It's almost too simple for the show nowadays. The show's gotten to some very interesting and bizarre places, and it's going to get more bizarre. So keep watching. Yeah.
As Rigby, which of the new generation consoles would he be most likely to want?
New generation, dude. No, I'm old school. If it's got more than 8 bits, it don't fit. I think Rigby he'd probably be an Xbox guy though. Me, I would be a PS4 guy.
Makes sense. It's like X-Bone and it's like Ringbone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Ringbone.
Plus, he'd be a social gamer, or in his case, an anti-social gamer.
Hey, someone beats him, he'd be like, "Shut up!"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Something about Rigby.
So that's good.
Oh wait, I now remember.
Yeah.
It was from the movie. Why does he have? Actually, it's not really a spoiler. Well, why does he have bleached hair? And
He
where
thought
did
it
the
was,
idea come from?
He thought it was cool. I think the idea came from what would be something asinine that Rigby would think was cool that they could totally mock him for from back in the day. It's kind of sort of like the trash boat thing. Did you like the movie?
Yeah, it was good.
Cool.
It was
They released
so
it on.
good.
Thanks.
They released it like I think it was on CartoonNetwork.com first before.
Yeah.
They did it online. It was kind of weird.
Well, my only beef about the movie is I thought that they should have tried it in wide release, just for even just a few cities. Like there was talk for a little while about putting it out in college towns, just like a handful of college towns where people where the right demographic could find it and see it on the big screen.
Theaters.
But they opted not to do that. So it played for a week and a half in LA, and then we debuted it in New York for I think just a day. And then there was an event in Austin. I'm still not sure I didn't just dream this. I was at a con in Mesa, Arizona, and I was booked Friday through Sunday, and then the network asked me if I could fly to Austin on Saturday and be part of a simulcast event at like 6 theaters across the whole country, and then a live Q&A. And so, I left the con just like like I did at the event. Went to the airport, flew to Austin, was there for like 5 hours, and then turned around and flew back and finished the con. And I was like, what just happened? I don't even know. But that was intense. So it has showed on some big screens, but I wish they had pushed a little more. I think they felt like they got kind of burned with. Huh?
Doc Woodseed Hunger Force movie?
Well, I didn't think about that. I was gonna say the Powerpuff Girls movie.
Oh.
that didn't draw as much as they had hoped it would, And I mean, a lot of people don't realize like that movie was our movie was almost done on the sly. I mean, we had the full support of the studio, but we literally did it like as we were continuing to record the show. So there was no special time set aside for us to make that movie. We would record the episode, and then we would spend an hour recording lines for the movie. So that's why it took a couple of years to do the thing. Yeah.
Was the movie budgeted as an alternative to an extra season, or just its own budget?
It had, pardon me, it had its own budget, but the way that they set it up and the way they executed it was almost like a series of episodes, rather than. I mean, that's how we got paid, and I think, in fact, we're still supposed to get checks for the limited theatrical run that it had. But yeah, it was set up like a series of episodes, and for the longest time they just called it the long form. They'd be like, okay, we're going to record next week's episode, and then we're going to work on the long form a little bit, But I was really happy with the way it turned out. I mean, I thought it was a good script, but it was better in the execution than I anticipated, which was always fun.
Any one of those posters.
Yeah, Yeah.
Did you have any basic creative control of how Rigby acted or how he got his voice or anything like that?
Not officially, not as such, but the voice that I did for the auditions was pretty much the voice that I ended up using for the part. And as the writers would find more and more goofy things for him to do, you sort of, over a period of time, you sort of have this mind meld with the writers. Like they start writing towards your you know, what you do well, and you start sort of like, you know, getting really good at framing their words, and you even knowing like, oh, okay, Calvin wrote this line, I could tell, or you know, Sean wrote this line or whatever, because you could sort of like get the feel for people's humor. So over time, you start sort of like influencing it, I think, just by your natural talents and what you do well.
This is an off question.
Yeah.
But did you ever try to audition for Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
Oh, awesome.
No, and if I had, something tells me that other guy still would have gotten it. Cooper, whatever.
You should try it on, what is it, auditioning for like the other guy, the big red one or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. I will audition for anything they send me copy for, pretty much.
Or Groot, just say those 1, 2 words.
What's that? Groot?
Just say that one word.
Yeah, right? No kidding. Yeah, so, of course, I don't just do regular show. I've done a bunch of video games. I'm in Fallout 4. I'm in Mass Effect 3. What else? Yeah, I know Courtney and I have done a bunch of stuff together. Evolve for Microsoft. I think that was an Xbox One exclusive. That's a cool game because
PC as well.
What's that?
PC as well.
Is it PC as well?
Yeah, PS4.
Okay, so it's not exclusive to anything.
Besides Wii U.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a little morbid question.
Oh, good.
If Rigby had to die, how would he want to die?
Oh God.
If he had to die, how would he want to die?
Choke it on a beatbox up.
That was pretty good, actually.
Kickflip
I think he would want to be worshipped to death.
Blisters on his hands. Oh, control.
Replicate that as Rigby?
What's
No,
that?
Could you replicate that as Rigby?
Oh, dude, no, too much love. Please stop the love. No, I can't take it. Something like that. Of course, now Eileen would swoop in and save him. So.
Before or after the push-up.
I love that. That was so much fun. So are any of you guys gamers? Do you game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
After you play the regular show video game.
What's that?
So you need to play the regular show video game.
Oh, the regular show video game. Yeah. That I know we're out on.
There's one on 3DS.
3DS, right? Exactly. Yeah. And of course, there's stuff. Are you holding up your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in one of the episodes, like they sing a song like Chillin'.
Yeah.
Could you sing that?
I wish I could. All I remember is that part. Chillin'. That's the only part that I remember.
Can you do the clock song?
Huh?
Clock song?
Oh, that one's easy. This is the clock song. We're setting all the clocks wrong. Yeah, they're those are so stupid and so much fun. But the hardest one was the country song, the country's rap, where it's like you list all the countries in the world. We live promoted that in San Diego, and the geography. Here, let me see if I can find it.
That reminds me of the song from like, what is it? Animaniacs.
Yeah, exactly.
Was supposed to be a reference to it or something?
With our writers, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because we do a lot of homage and references to other stuff. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. God, leave me alone.
What was your favorite episode to do, and what was your, not least, but what was kind of like difficult to do?
Difficult? Well, you know, the stuff where, on rare occasions, Rigby is sincere for large stretches of time. That's kind of, not challenging, not the right word, but you know, it's always fun to be funny, and sometimes he's like, you know, really sincere. My favorite episode was probably the one where he, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name of it, but where he arm wrestles Skips and beats him because he has the Playco arm boy. And then Skips finds out that he's been cheating. Mordecai tells him, of course. And Skips challenges him to a rematch, rips the Playco arm boy off of him, and then puts him down so hard that he kills him. And then he has to arm wrestle Death to bring him back to life. So,
Or Excellent.
Excellent was really fun. What I loved about Excellent was the fact that that Rigby tried to eat an entire omelet even though he's allergic to eggs.
But did they make like a sequel to that one with like a shirt or something?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there
Steak or something?
was a reference to that. Yeah. And then,
steaks, yeah.
and yeah, I love it when stuff comes back that I'm not expecting. Like that totally happened with the baby ducks.
Oh no!
Like how we go from like, you know, an episode with a handful of baby ducks all the way to Brilliant Century Duck Crisis, where there's like this mega huge fight between them and the geese, and you know.
Yeah.
Mechs everywhere.
Yeah, mechs everywhere.
Like destroys the moon.
Yeah, it destroys the moon, which is possibly the worst thing we've ever done if you think about it. It's like that would not be cool.
Well, Sonic the Hedgehog's done it before, so.
Oh my god.
It must be self-healing. Countries.
Dragon Ball Z destroyed them.
I just don't think it would work well. I think.
Not the whole moon.
No, Dragon Ball Z did destroy the whole moon.
No, it's Sonic. It's what happened.
Oh yeah, but it's still the same thing.
Nerd fight! Oh, here it is. See if I can make it loud. Here, look real close.
I'm trying. Is this one of the new episodes?
No, it's a short.
I don't think I've seen the show.
Twice good for.
They're getting to these countries by going to sleep in crates, right?
Yeah, exactly.
May I take a picture of your Rigby collection?
Oh.
Sadly, Mordecai just became like this.
Hi,
Rigby.
Hey, how's it going, dude?
Good.
So, yeah, so you can look that up online if you just look up regular show USA Rap, you'll find that. Yeah, what?
Whoa!
What's your name, dude?
Eli.
Eli? Hi, Eli. How are you? Yeah. You having a good con? Sweet. So yeah.
Who's your voice in Mass Effect 3?
I did Morden Solis in Mass Effect 3. Yeah. And that's funny. For one of the songs from that actually does stay on my mind. It was, oh, better to die to a thresher maw with shotgun blasting roaring rather to play ambassadorial games with the blood of Chiaga in her veins.
I saw that. I'm just like, no spoilers. I cried.
Oh, thanks, man. That was really fun to do. That's a great bit. Yeah.
Can you talk in Rigby's voice?
Sure. What do you want me to say? Anything. Meatballs up. Stop talking.
Someone stole your sandwich.
What's that?
Let's say like someone stole Rigby's sandwich. How would you react in Rigby's voice?
Someone stole my sandwich? Die! Which we couldn't get away with saying because they.
Of course. Oh,
That's
it's sausage. I mean, no, unless it's pepperonis, then yes.
Yeah. Don't touch my pepperonis, man. Yes.
Yeah, this is like more a question about the show.
Sure.
What's like the thing where, you know, they go like, oh, every time they say a joke. Was that like written in, or did you guys just like?
That was something from JG's time in college, and they would actually do that. Like,
yeah,
I guess
on the '80s show.
Yeah, I guess I don't know where they got it, but he said that, you know, if they would drop a particularly like deaf line on each other or something, they'd be like, oh! Like they thought the funniest thing, and we think we've done this in the show, but they were talking about how like the funniest thing would be like just to like leave the room and go like all the way like around the building and come back in going, oh! So that was fun. That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I got my friends to do that, so thanks.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love it when people come up to my table I'm signing with their moms, and their moms are like, I'm so sick of hearing you. And now, like, they'll write a rap or something, or JG will come up with some line, and we'll be recording in the booth, and I'm like, you know that's going to be the next thing that they're super sick of hearing. Because the kids will say it over and over and over again. Yeah?
Yesterday in the panel, I think it was the one we watched the episode.
Yeah.
You were talking about your son and how he called you into the room.
Yeah.
And asked about, he's like, you don't want to do this Rigby? You're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What was the face that he did with that?
He was like, here's to catch up on this. So like, somebody asked at my panel yesterday if what my kid thought. I've got a 16-year-old son. Asked what he thought about me doing a regular show, and I was like, well, he's not that impressed anymore because it's just me. So, so like the funny thing is he'll pull it out when he wants to use it. So like years ago, like I was like, do you still watch regular shows? I was like, nah, I don't know. But then like just a couple of weeks, even just last week, like he had 2 girls over, right? and I'm in my room and he's in his room and I hear Bill, and so I go walking in and I'm like, what's up? He goes, don't you do the voice of Rigby? And I was like, who? Buzz meet Ian. It was hilarious. But then I did the voice and they were all impressed, so I saved him in the end. Yeah?
Could you, in character, tell us how cool and how proud you are of being Trash Boat now?
Okay, dude. Look, I've addressed this in so many press conferences now. Trash Boat was a very brief moment in my life. It was something I tried because I was feeling it, and now I changed it back. There is no Trash Boat. Trash Boat is gone. All right? So when you want to ask about Trash Boat, stop talking! Yeah.
Who did you voice in Fallout 4?
Fallout 4, I was, what's his name? Sheffield, who's the dude in the town that's like, Nuka-Cola! Give me some Nuka-Cola, dude! Like the messed up Nuka-Cola addict. And I don't want to do too much spoiling. Has anybody here? Have you all played Fallout 4? Yeah. Do you know the kid in the fridge quest?
Is it a main or side?
Side.
You were the kid.
No. Oh. I was Bullet.
Oh.
Who tries to take the kid away from you? There's a great I play a bad guy, and like, so like you rescue this kid and then, huh?
Oh no, you're not Halo.
No, his name's Bullet.
Some kidnapping kids.
Yeah, yeah. And so like he tries to get you to give up this school kid to become a slave, and I had the line, because of course you say no because you're a good person, and I have the line, I'm gonna wear your eyeballs around my neck, and then you kill me. So that's really fun. And then I play a vault engineer, but I haven't come across him yet, so I don't really know where he shows up. He's a guy that you can collect tools and sell to. So one of my favorite things I found online the other day was there's a YouTube video of Femme Soul Survivor, who's Courtney, who's my good friend, Courtney Taylor, killing Bullet, and I get a kick out of that. She shoots me. Yeah.
Did you and your son both play Mass Effect 3?
I played it a little bit. He played it more than I did. I gotta tell you, I have a problem with third person.
Oh, okay.
Like I just don't like I want to be in an immersive experience. So like I want to play a game where like I can turn out the lights, put on headphones, and feel like I'm there. And hovering over somebody's shoulder just doesn't work for me. Yeah.
Because you said you play Solus. I had no idea you played the voice of Solus, right?
Morton Solus, yeah, right.
I killed him off.
Did you kill him off? Genophage, whatever. Boom. I didn't create that role. That role was created in Mass Effect 2 by an actor by the name of Michael Beatty, but he didn't come back for some reason. So they hired me to play the role in Mass Effect 3, and I got to do that great death scene. Oh, spoiler alert. Yeah.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
So for what is it? When you first got into regular show like voice acting, how was you working? Because you know how usually Rigby interacts with almost all the characters.
Yeah.
So it's interacting with Sam and Courtney.
Oh, it's great. I mean, everybody on the show is really cool, which is like I kept waiting to meet somebody who was a jerk, and I never did. But yeah, right. If you look around and you don't see it, it's you. But yeah, Sam is great because I mean, you guys know if you were sitting through Sam's panel, Sam is just this very quiet, very sort of like low-key dude. And then when he walks up to the mic and is like, "Mine, Mom!" It's just like this amazing transformation to watch him go into that because Sam's a great actor. He's very full body. So like, we're basically we're acting in front of the mic, but like you just do the same things you would do if you were on stage. You just don't even think about it. You just like and he's great. I'll tell you who's really a great guy is Mark Hamill. Like Mark is just he's so down to earth, and you would never, if there was anybody in the world who didn't know he was a cultural icon, you would not guess it by talking to him because he's such a great guy.
You said something about a book. You said that Mark Hamill would say his lines and read his book and say his lines.
Yeah. And Mark does a bunch of voices on the show. He's not just Skips. He does a lot of the incidental voices.
Yeah, he knows Rigby's dad.
Rigby's dad is actually Eddie Pepitone, who's an amazing comedian from New York. Yeah.
Who's your favorite guest star to work with?
Oh gosh, that's a tall order. Because we've had Troy Baker on the show. We've had Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham. We've had, and then from the legit acting world, we've had Ed Asner and what's
That's what Sam's favorite was Ed Asner.
Ed's very impressive. Like when he was doing the Christmas show and playing Santa in our Christmas episode, he had a long monologue that he did at Santa, and he essentially nailed it in one. I mean, they recorded it, and it was flawless, and then they did an extra take for safety, and that was it. Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Regarding regular show, Moral Oral, and other shows you've worked on, you talked yesterday that you get the storyboard, you get the scripts.
Yeah.
Have you had table reads involved with the other actors?
No, that's pretty rare in the world of VO because we're sort of expected to be very quick and nimble. So you don't really have. I don't think I've ever had a table read for a VO project. It's not at all uncommon to literally not know what you're working on until you walk into the room. I did not know that I was in Fallout 4 until I walked in and started recording. And they're super, super secretive. So what will happen is you'll be hired under a code name. They'll be like, here's sides for whatever, nougat. And you're like, okay, and you're reading it, and they'll be like, okay, you've been hired for a session for nougat, and then, okay, great, I'll go do that. And you walk in the studio, and they're like, congratulations, you're actually in the latest blah, 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 And that's when you find out what you're really doing. I can't tell you what it is. I'm so excited to do it. I just got cast in a motion capture gig that turned out to be a very famous franchise. And they used bluff copy, like not real copy, when they had us audition for it. They didn't even. What's funny? They didn't even have us sign an NDA. And for those who don't know, an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. And it's very, very common, particularly in video games, to sign an NDA where you say, I won't talk about this, I won't post about it, before you even get to read for it. Well, this huge franchise did not have us sign an NDA because they used fake copy and we didn't know what we were reading for. And when I found out, I was so excited. So.
Did you sign a real NDA?
Did I sign a real NDA? I think yes. When I went to have my face scan, I signed an actual NDA. But look for me as a major villain in something. I would say that. Yeah.
I know that for anime voice actors and other voice actors, they usually go for either Texas, New York, or LA for voice acting. But what about for like gaming, like you said, for Mass Effect and Fallout?
Well, Mass Effect had a lot of stars in it. Right. So, you had Martin Sheen, you had
Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, well, Jennifer Hale is.
Hale.
Yeah, she's FemShep, and Jennifer is arguably the top female voice talent going. She's similar to like Troy Baker, in the gaming world, and Jennifer lives in LA. A lot of us live in LA, and so that was probably always going to be cast out of there. Now, Mark, who plays Male Shepherd, he actually lives in Canada, and I didn't know this story until I did Dragon Con with him. It was kind of cool. Mark was hired to do temp tracks for the game, and so he did a lot of voices as they were bringing it together. As they were putting the game together, he did a lot of voices just as placeholders, and they liked his work so much that they ended up actually using him as the male lead. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen. I was actually cast as Rigby in the pilot episode of Regular Show.
Aim in the PM?
What?
Is Aim in the PM or no?
No, that was JG's student project. I didn't even know JG at that time, but I was cast in the pilot for Regular Show, and then they actually, when it got picked up, they put it out to auditions again. So I actually had to read for and book the role of Rigby twice. Once after I'd already recorded for the pilot. It's a tight little world, yeah.
How'd you find it like that? Was it your agent or you found it online?
Agent, yeah. You pretty much, you don't get to read for big projects unless you have an agent. You need to be an agent, you need to have an agent, you need to be in the union. And that's how you get the big jobs. Anything else?
You did a lot of additional voices for Call of Duty, Dead Space,
yeah,
Far Cry. What's it like? Just like you walk into the audition, it's just like, oh, I'm just soldier number 4.
Yes, and I'm in Far Cry.
Far Cry 4, yeah.
Wow, that's cool. It's funny. It really does work like that. I mean, I'm being flip about it, but you read for so much stuff. Not only, like I say, I'll get 3 to 10 auditions a day, and sometimes those auditions are like, here's a video game, you're reading for incidental characters, there are 17 of them in this copy, read for at least 4. And so, you literally lose track of, I hope that person's not dying. you literally lose track of what you've done. And do you remember who I was in Far Cry 4?
Random soldier.
I gotta look that up. I gotta look that up and find.
Yeah, it said you were like additional voices.
Yeah, that makes sense. I did 12 voices for a game once. I don't even remember what game it was, but yeah, that's the nature of it. It's really, you're exactly right. It's really sort of like rough and tumble. You come in, even most of the time, if you've got a main character, they'll still have you do 2, 3, 4 other voices. So yeah, you always come prepared to do other stuff. Back there.
Would you want regular show and move it to Adult Swim, or do you think
Would I want it to move to Adult Swim?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like based on, you know, when I come to a con and I see guys like you, you know, I have fans from 8 to 30, you know what I mean? And that tells me that we're pretty perfectly positioned. You know, I feel like if it was just legit up, you know, on Adult Swim, there'd probably be parents who wouldn't let their kids watch it, and you know, I kind of like where we are. Yeah, you had another thing?
Yeah, let's have a reverse Q&A. You ask us the questions.
I love that idea. Has anybody watched every episode of regular show since? Seriously?
Actually, I haven't seen the newer ones in a while. The 2 or 3 newer ones.
Yeah?
We binge watched it.
You guys are super fans. I love it, because I haven't watched every episode of regular show. What am I doing these days? What's the most recent? Yeah, what's the most recent episode of regular show that you guys have watched?
No TV.
Last time I watched was like the college one when.
Oh yeah.
He's like in the cave or something.
Right.
Oh, no, the one where he goes to China. That's the one.
Oh, okay.
China.
Yeah. Oh, that was a fun one where he where he ends up in Benson's class, and it's like the cool one. And what was yours?
Snow TV.
Oh, Snow TV.
That's the other one. Yeah.
That's fun. That was fun too. Has everybody seen the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah? No, you haven't seen the movie? Get out! No, you should check it out, because it's. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's a great. Somebody said, one of the critics said that it was just like a regular episode but extra long. And I was like, no, it's not. It's super special. Yeah. What else?
I like the Dome episode.
Yeah, which one?
The Dome episode.
Oh, the Dome episod, yeah. Yeah, man, when I walked in and saw that we were like suddenly under a dome, I was like, WTF, man. It was that was so random, and it's about to get more random. I can't tell you, but it's gonna get stranger still.
So have you started recording for the next season already?
Yeah, we're recording season 8. Yeah. Yeah. We won an Emmy, yo. What's that?
The question is, when are you guys gonna do a parody of Baywatch or what is it, CSI? It's like, yeah.
Oh, Baywatch would be awesome. I want to see Eileen in a 2-piece. I think that would be
See, like, Sam's just running. He's like skipping.
Yeah. So what's everybody's favorite character? You don't have to say me. But in fact, let's say that you can't say me. Who else besides Rigby?
I like CJ.
CJ?
Yeah.
Why do you like CJ?
I like CJ because she likes Mordecai just for being Mordecai. Mordecai doesn't have to work to get her to like her.
You feel like he has to work too hard for Margaret?
Yeah.
But you know, on the other hand, just to play Margaret's advocate. On the other hand, CJ's a girlfriend who can get mad and accidentally wreck the whole town.
Oh yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy. So I don't know. I mean, I go back. I kind of like the placidness of Margaret. I think that's kind of.
Yeah, when she drops something on the floor. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'll be Benson.
We've all dated her, right?
Yeah. In the first episode, she was introduced when they were playing laser tag. Her shirt changes from orange to yellow.
Yeah. That was. Yeah, right. Nice.
Hey man, it's not Mordecai's fault that only Rigby can talk to girls.
I know, right? I actually, that was one of my favorite things that we did with the show, was the fact that it just, when that dropped, when we dropped the fact that Rigby was dating Eileen, it was so sort of casual, you know? And I love the fact that as messed up as Rigby is, there's this one little part of his life that he's kind of got it together, you know? And Mordecai's just a total loser when it comes to the ladies.
The funny guy is, what was it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I punch you.
I punch you in the face! Hey, so I'm curious, our female fans in the room here, are you team CJ or team Margaret?
CJ.
CJ? Yeah? What about you?
Margaret.
Why are you team CJ?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay. I could see that. Yeah.
Oh, I want to high five Ghost girlfriend, the one with the blue hair.
Oh yeah.
They haven't showed her in a while.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I think there's something coming with her in
They
it.
just show her in like the background now.
Yeah, no, I think she's going to be a little more featured in an episode. How about you, CJ or Margaret?
Margaret.
Margaret, why? Like her more?
Stay with your kind.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait for you guys to see where we're going.
I like Skips.
You like Skips?
Because his message, I mean, come on, he made a message out of like SpaghettiOs for Rigby and for the guys.
Yeah.
And he's like very like zen at the same time, even though he's the strongest, he's like very smart too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why I really love the episode where Rigby beats him in arm wrestling is because you get to see Skips kind of lose it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how did this happen? You know, he gets very like sort of like you see his ego, and he's usually so good about not coming from a place of ego.
Exactly.
That makes that really cool.
The story is pretty sad too. Like the one where
Yeah.
when he's in like high school or whatever. And he's like,
Yeah, and he has the girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. Well, I think we can all agree that Mark Hamill is best known at Skips. Which is really, you know, what bothers me about that is that, you know, he's got this solid, great job, and he was gone for like a month doing some sci-fi movie. It's like, dude, get your priorities straight.
It's a little film.
I did not say to him.
Wait, when you shake his hand, does it feel like cold and like metally?
No, no. He's the coolest guy. That was okay. So that was my first day after the. Was it? We might have been recording the pilot, but so I walked into Cartoon Network and I'm already excited. I literally didn't sleep for 2 nights after I booked this job.
With the rock paper scissors?
Yes, exactly. And so I walk in and the studio is it's fairly where we record is fairly big. It's about half the size of this room or so, with, you know, a glass partition and the director and the engineer sit on one side and we're on the other. So I walk in and through the glass I see this guy recording Skips, and I didn't know, nobody told me who was cast or anything like that, and the director saying, okay, that was great, Mark, you know, okay, Bill, you can go on in. And I'm thinking, wow, that guy's really good. I wonder who, you know. And I walk in and I'm like, oh my God, it's Mark Hamill. I did not say out loud. And I was actually sick when we recorded the pilot, and I didn't want anyone to know that for any number of reasons. It's like you don't want to come. You want them to fully believe that you have the same voice that you auditioned with, right? A of all, and two, you also don't ever want other voice actors to be. Voice actors are paranoid about sick people for obvious reasons, and so like I just didn't want to freak anybody out. So I had this big cup of tea. And I see this Mark, and I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, Mark. You know, as I'm like squealing like a little girl inside. And I walk over to my mic, and he's doing the thing where he's reading something, you know, and I take a sip of my tea. I'm very proud of how cool I'm being. I take a sip of my tea. And I guess the lid wasn't on right. So it goes. Was it hot? And it was hot enough that I had to be cool not to scream. Second time after walking in the room that I had to not scream for a different reason. And I look over at him and I'm like, and he's like reading something, and I'm like, oh, I totally got away with that, you know? And he goes, I've got a cup that does that. Which was the perfect thing to say, but because then I could let it go worry about it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm busted. But he is the nicest guy. Yeah, I will give you another example. Mark's autograph commands a certain price, more than mine, believe it or not. And I was at San Diego, and I wanted to get Mark's autograph on this big poster, this really cool like retro. It was set up. It was like a old style World War II recruitment poster, and it had Mark as Luke getting into an X-wing, and it was like join the resistance, you know. And I wanted to get his signature on it, and I didn't want to be that guy that like goes, well, we work together, so of course, you know, you're not going to charge me, right? So like everybody else, I stood in line and I waited, and when I got up there, he was like, hey, don't be ridiculous, you know, and he like, the way they have it set up is you have to pay your money before you can get to him. So he gave me the money back, And then he's such a cool guy that like he goes, "Hey everybody, it's William Salyers from the regular show." You know, like he's throwing the attention on me, and just that's just the kind of guy he is. He's just really awesome. Yeah. So, yeah.
How much is like a signature?
At San Diego at SDCC that year, it was going for $300.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I think like Taipei Comic Con, Carrie was there, and hers was like almost 100 or something.
I got.
Was really long.
I paid for Gary's signature because I've never worked for her. I don't know her, but yeah, I think she was. It was. I don't remember where it was. Either Atlanta or Rose City Comic Con. I paid $80 for her.
Darth Vader came here yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, not the voice guy, but you know, person.
The actor in the suit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was a thing I was gonna say, and now I'm not because I forgot it.
Meatballs.
Yeah. When all else fails, say meatball stuff. How are we doing on time?
We
got like 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10
somewhere in there. Yeah, and there are guys that will go up to Mark with, because I've seen this happen. Like they'll pay a whole bunch of money and they'll show up with just like literally a briefcase full of his photos and just because he's going to turn right around and sell those. You know?
Time for eBay.
Yeah, right. We can always tell too. That's the funny part is like you know, I've done enough signings now that I can tell when somebody is like a fan of the show and wants my signature or when they're like going to turn right around and put it on eBay, because they will not have you personalize it. They'll be like, hey, yeah, and yeah, don't put anybody's name on it. That's cool. And so you're signing it, and then you like catch them like surreptitiously like doing the camera.
No, I've gotten a lot of signatures from people, and I normally ask them not for them to personalize it, but I'm still a big fan. I'm not selling it anymore.
Oh, really?
I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't want my name on it.
You don't want your name
my
on it?
name's not important.
Oh, that's interesting.
I usually like to do a quote or something.
Yeah. That makes sense. No, it's like sort of more pristine that way.
Right, because I got this Star Wars poster. I just got David downstairs to sign it, but I have a couple of them on it, and they're all signing my name after it. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody was telling me. Oh, it's our director, Chris Zimmerman from Rec Show, was telling me that she had like an original. It was like an original Mark Hamill training card or something that her son had from back in the day when Star Wars first came out, and so she brought it to work and got Mark to sign it, and then went to find out how much it was worth, and the collector was like, well, it would have been worth a lot, but then you had somebody write on it, and she's like, I had Mark Hamill write on it. He's like, we got no proof of that.
What?
Yeah,
you can check the signature.
It's called provenance. It means, you know, proof that something actually came from where you say it came from. So like, yeah, you can check the signature, but anybody can fake that, right?
Yeah, but there's some ways, like letters, while they like curve.
I mean, you know, you can take it to a handwriting expert, but you know, most people aren't going to do that. So it's just, I just thought it was really interesting that, like, you know, until Mark signed it, it was worth a lot of money.
If I was her, I would have like went back and just like faked the picture.
Yeah, there you go. Anything else? Anybody have any final? Yeah.
If you would like to do a crossover with any other TV show, what would it be?
We talked about that earlier. I think Rick and Morty would be the show. Because I would love to be. I mean, that show's just stupid brilliant. You know, I love that show. So yeah, that'd be fun.
Mordecai, we gotta do this.
Did anybody? There was just a great thing. Did anybody see the Simpsons
crossover?
Crossover?
Which one was it? The 80s one or
the Rick and Morty one?
The Rick and Morty one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I love that. Morty, you killed the Simpsons.
Where'd you get your glasses from?
Where'd I get my glasses from? These glasses were a replacement for glasses that were broken by lens crafters. So these were free.
Free 99?
No, free.
No, free 99.
Oh, free 99, nice. I like that.
5-finger discount.
Yeah. I like the way. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. I'm not that fast anymore. Yeah.
My friend couldn't make it to today because he's at work.
Yeah.
He asked me for a shout out. He texted me saying, "Oh, can you tell him nothing beats Drinking Joes with my bros?"
And nothing beats what? Drinking Joes with my bros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You want? Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll let you know. Oh, his name is Cece, by the way.
Cece?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, Cece. Nothing beats drinking Joes with my bros.
Whoa! Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
I've never seen a regular show poster, but like for the movie.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
It's Mordecai and Rigby. It kind of looks like almost like they're in a spaceship, and it's from their backs, and you see, I think it's from their backs.
Kind of like Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. And the line is Rigby and Mordecai, save the universe or you're fired.
I just want to see like a Star Wars themed episode,
Well, there's a ton of Star Wars homage in the movie. There's a ton of Star Wars.
I think it was like they did a DeLorean in there too, and that's the one that like blew up or something.
Yeah.
And Rigby has like a giant beard, and then like Benson has like an eye patch or whatever.
Yeah, because Rigby comes from the future when he's cool.
Too bad it's not canon.
Yeah.
For him, anyways.
And then they fix the universe, and he's never gonna be cool.
Season finale, it's like everybody accepts that he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's what somebody asked me the other day, like what would be in one of the panels, said, what, if you could make your own episode for your character, what would it be called, what would it be about? And I said, well, it would be called Finally, and it would be about everybody realizing how awesome Rigby is.
Yeah, and then Corny said something about cholera, and it's like love has no cholera.
No, Love in the Time of Cholera,
Yeah.
which is a novel. Yeah.
That one, yeah.
She made a very, very brainy analogy.
About how she's green.
Yeah. Anything else?
You guys, you voice actors. Do you voice actors ever like get together, have a few beers, and you just start taking your characters to like some other level, just messing around and having fun with off the record,
or seeing that on the drive-thru
recordings?
The first part of answer to the first part of your question is yes, we do get together and have beers. We don't. I don't know. I guess.
What if we, and you come up with these hypothetical things?
We don't really think about it that. The thing about it is, we all voice a lot of characters. You know what I mean? And they're all from different worlds or different. So we don't tend to think that way that much. Although I did several episodes of a show called Marvel Avengers Assemble, and those are some of the that room is stupid. There's some of the best voice actors in the country, all in one room doing these roles, and they get pretty silly in that record. And what's funny about it is so I'm doing regular show, we've been doing that since 2005, and I think, well, my show's really silly, we have a great time, and then I got to that show, and those guys make us look like a bunch of, doctoral candidates. They're like, because, and I think it's because of the material. The material's very straight, so they're like, Iron Man, how are we going to get around the shield? And so that, that's the line. So in between, so they're like, Iron Man, how are we going to get around the shield? It's just like they do these really straight takes, and then in between they're just like 12-year-olds. It's hilarious. So that's the kind of thing that we do. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they're great people. Yeah.
Are you gonna get the signature from the creator of Rick and Morty? Is DC or
Dan? I suppose I could. What I'd really like to get from Dan is a job. But I got to at least say hi to Dino. I don't know Dan well. I've met him at cons, but I got to say hi to Dino because I did my first show with him. So how about that Anomalisa, man? That thing's kicking ass and taking names. The movie Anomalisa, it's done by Dino's production company, and it's up for an Academy Award. Yeah. It's supposed to be very adult animation, and it's stop motion,
It's gonna win an Oscar before Leonardo DiCaprio does.
Before what?
They're gonna win an Oscar before Leonardo DiCaprio does.
Aha! Yeah, maybe. Although DiCaprio's got a pretty big shot at it this year.
He'll get it.
How's that?
He'll get it.
Have you seen it?
Burn?
Yeah.
No. But he'll get it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If you didn't get it with Titanic, he'll get it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's his time finally.
I don't understand how you didn't get it with Titanic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
I think it's rigged. I think they all hate Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, I think it's very political for sure because
he's matured enough that they're gonna look at him and
and say he's earned it.
Yeah, he's got it.
When he was, I think yeah, it's a harder sell when you're a younger star, you know, because people feel like they're in line ahead of you.
What's funny about that movie at the Golden Globes, the one movie the animated movie you were talking about?
Anomalisa?
Yeah, when they were announcing the winner, it was Kurt Russell and his daughter. And the winner is, and Kurt Russell announced Anomaly, and then she was like, no, it isn't. And she opens it up, and it's like In and Out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're giving a Miss America competition. Or Miss Universe.
Sorry,
folks, this is not the winner.
That was horrible, wasn't it?
So bad.
Nice. That was horrible. It's like, Steve, hang it up. That's not okay.
They have to do that on a regular show, please. They're doing a regular show.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yes.
I will actually suggest that.
Do it something like a game show where it's like Rigby wins. It's like, I'm sorry, Rigby, you lost. So
That's
please
great.
get out.
I'm totally going to take that to the writers' room. That's great.
Isn't that kind of like the 14
They award him and everything of how awesome he is.
Yeah.
Then they strip him.
Yeah.
Is it like the Fortune Cookie episode? Or
Oh, yeah, kind of. Where he gets Benson's fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was Muscle Man that switched it.
Oh, right.
And with the Steve Harvey, do like a wide shot of Earth, have a picture of Rigby saying winner of all, and then.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the Halloween episode where Rigby gets, well, I don't remember which one it was, but where Rigby gets turned into a house?
I think it's the second one or third.
First of all, I love the Halloween episodes. They're always, because we get to do all bets are off, so we get to do things we never get to do, like, you know, rip off all of Muscle Man's skin and stuff like that. But that, if I remember that episode correctly, because they're anthology episodes, right? So we tell more than one story.
Yeah.
That was the one where I got to be Creepy Doll. It was in that same Halloween special. I got to do the voice of Pop's Creepy Doll, and that was really fun because they don't usually, because you guys hear so much Rigby, they don't usually let me do like another main voice. So it was fun running around going, "I'm gonna draw on your face."
Oh